Peace, love, and light collective. Welcome back to Cusp Roses Tarot. This is the new moon and Gemini chakra healing reading. I'm super excited to bring this reading to you all. Thank you so much for your patience. I did record a reading for the new moon in Gemini, like on the 22nd, on the day of the new moon. And technology just took me out, honestly. It had an error uploading. It didn't save to my phone. I mean, I waited like almost an hour just for it to prepare, just for it to like halfway upload and then have an error, which just totally not really sent me over, but it just was a sign that like my energy was already kind of a little bit all over the place, and I was just trying to get it out on time, and spirit was just like, no, like you need to relax, you need to take some time, you need to rest, you need to integrate, you need to get these light codes going in your body. So yes, I'm hoping that this video can come to you all and will upload properly. If not, we're just going to keep trying maybe for another time, but hopefully it does. And I hope that this video is finding you all well and in good spirits, and safe, especially this is Memorial Day weekend. I hope everyone has had a wonderful Memorial Day. If you did spend time with friends and family, I hope you had a great time. Just please continue to stay safe, guys. Like, we still haven't even hit the second wave of this pandemic yet, at least here in the States. So just please take the precautions necessary, right? Do what you got to do to protect yourself. But again, I hope everyone had fun. I think we're just gonna go for it, okay? So if you're new here, welcome to the family. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe. We are lit here over at Cusp Roses Tarot. We just hit a milestone of 1,000 subscribers, so now I do have a community board, which I will be making a community post soon, putting out some polls for you guys just to kind of see what you guys want from me as a reader and just for this channel. And so things are getting exciting here, and now I can also go live. So that next live, or at least my first live, will be scheduled soon and announced soon. So stay tuned for that. Again, make sure you go ahead and subscribe, hit that bell notification so you are notified when I do upload new videos, so you can be the first to get your eyes on them, okay? For my newbies, I do start off every reading with a quick prayer. This is an opportunity for you to ground your energy, for me to ground my energy, and then us to be grounded together. Just so that we're both open, right, to the messages that for me need to be expressed for the collective, and then for you, the messages that I express that are pertaining to you and your situation. Now, these are general readings. Not everything I say in this reading is going to resonate for your journey. Keep that in mind, okay? Like, take just the bits and pieces that feel right for you. Leave the rest for everybody else, okay? So if you have any mantras, meditations, affirmations, prayers that you like to do, say, or practice to connect with your higher self, your divine source, or your spiritual team, please do so right now. You can also pray along with me, okay? If you've been here for a while and you know my prayer. We're going to go ahead and get into that, and then I'll talk about the energy that I've been feeling with this new moon, and then we'll see what the cards say, okay? Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, Holy Spirit, Ascended Masters of Light, my own Divine Ancestral Council, and all Archangels, thank you so much for being here with me and with the collective. For this particular new moon in Gemini reading, as we look into the collective chakra energies, thank you just so much for grounding us, one, keeping us lifted and secure and protected in all of our energy. We're so grateful, ancestors, that you cover us in your love, light, and mercy, and that you lift us up in courage every single day to face whatever twists and turns may come. Thank you for allowing us to embrace those twists and turns and ups and downs with love, with understanding, with compassion, not only for ourselves, but for others, and with honesty. We're so grateful for this opportunity to come together, to connect, to be united in this moment. Thank you so much, Spirit, for allowing me to be a clear channel to bring forth the most important messages of love, healing, truth, light, and wisdom for whoever needs to hear it, whoever comes across this video. Let them gain some sort of insight, some sort of knowledge, some sort of comfort, reassurance, or confirmation for whatever they have going on in their lives. We're just so grateful for this time, ancestors, and we're hope that by honoring the light within and honoring you in this lifetime, that you'll continue to honor us on the other side and carry us to our destiny. We're so grateful for this opportunity to be together and to come into union as a whole, as a collective. So thank you, ancestors. Thank you. Thank you. We love you. And so it is. All right. Okay, guys. So this new moon and Gemini energy, definitely one for the record books. I feel like it's been a reset. I feel like it has completely reset everybody, or reset the collective. Really kind of opening up the doorway energetically for all of these new shifts coming in, okay? So we do have a lunar eclipse coming up on the 5th, which will be a full moon in Sagittarius lunar eclipse, okay? And then I believe later on in that month, the new moon for June. Not a new moon, no, I think there's a solar eclipse. Yeah, there's a solar eclipse as we move into, I want to say, yeah, as we move into Leo season. Plus, yeah, retrograde still going on. Mercury still has yet to do its second retrograde, I believe. So it's coming up soon. So, right, I feel like this new moon in Gemini has truly just kind of opened up all of us, really, and brought in this like new sense of like a new start, like just like a new beginning. Like I can't get off that feeling of a reset, okay? So for those who have been, you know, doing their work, tapping in, trying to align with their purpose and their path, I feel like whatever that last little bit of energetic density that you had to get through, this new moon in Gemini has given the energy, or at least provided the platform for that. I know that it's making a lot of folks crazy too, just because Gemini is that high strung, you know, they have those two twins, right? So it's just kind of like high energy. They like to go, they like to be on the move. They like to think, they like to, you know, all of that. They like the action. They like that, that sense of duality, right? So for those who have Gemini in your chart, you could be feeling a little bit more at home now. If the beginning of retrograde season kind of had you in a bit of a whirlwind, I feel like this new moon in Gemini is really anchoring a lot of those who have Gemini in their chart. Also, for those who maybe don't have a lot of air in your chart, or even just a lot of Gemini, this could be a little bit crazy making for you, okay? So it's important to just be mindful of your thoughts, right? Don't allow your mind to kind of play tricks on you in any way, right? Just breathe through it if this is a little chaotic for you, okay? But it is giving a lot of people upgrades, okay? It's a lot of upgrade energy. It's a lot of integrative energy as well. I know for me, when a video doesn't go through like that, or it doesn't save, generally it means that it wasn't either meant to be heard, or I was pulling energy too soon. And it just, whoever's watching and hears me, or like, you know, just that type of thing, it would have been too soon for them. Or just energetically, I wasn't aligned, so they won't save the video and they won't upload it. And then I have to go do my energy work. And, that's exactly what that was. I had to integrate kind of my own thing. So, I think that a lot of you are going to be faced with that. So if you are feeling more tired than normal, if you feel like you need to sleep more, you need to rest, like you're just feeling your body like feel a little down and feel just kind of low on energy, it's definitely a call for you to just kind of go with the flow, right? To not push it. And that's exactly what I was trying to do. I was trying to push through it, and spirit was like, yeah, no, like this is something, no, you can't push through it. You kind of got to allow it to happen and to flow through it. Okay. So if you're feeling that urge and that need, or your tendency is to kind of push through, you know, energy like this, or push through those moments and really force yourself to be upbeat or force yourself to get things done, take inventory of that. Okay. Make sure that you aren't pushing yourself too hard. You know, make sure you are taking the time to rest and relax your body, to sleep. If you need to catch up on sleep, do what you got to do. Just listen. Like, this is the time to listen. Okay. Venus is also doing a retrograde in Gemini. So this is really, 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 really tapping in and allowing ourselves to hear loving communication, right? To speak lovingly, not only to ourselves, but to others, right? To just kind of slow down and pay attention to whatever duality is still existing in our reality or in our energy, and do our best to kind of bring that into oneness, okay? All right, so for me, a lot of throat chakra energy is being integrated. A lot of sacral chakra energy is being cleared, as well as solar plexus. So if you've been having tummy troubles or feeling very horny or turned on, or just very, just feeling very like creative even, right? Those are all those chakras. If you've also maybe haven't been speaking a lot, right? Feeling a need to kind of keep quiet, or feeling the need to talk if you're someone who doesn't speak a lot, right? Pay attention to that. That's that throat chakra energy. So keeping those three balanced are going to really help you as this new moon goes through its next phases onto the full moon, which will be an eclipse, okay, as it heads into its eclipse. So let's go ahead and tap in and see what we got going on. I'm so sorry to talk your guys' ear off. Always feel free to fast forward till I get to the reading. If you guys want to start time stamping when the reading starts, I'm open to that too, okay? Just leave it in the comment section and make sure you're being nice about it, okay? I know I can talk a little bit. It's the Gemini energy, okay? I don't have Gemini in my chart, but it is an opposing sign for a lot of what is in my chart. So let's just go ahead and see what we got. Thank you so much, Spirit. Why do I feel like we have a peeker? Oh, you do not belong in this deck. Look at that. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. What chakras do we need to tap into, know about, work on for this new moon? Yep. Speaking of it, throat chakra, vanity. Okay, there we go. There's that ascension energy. There's that upgrade energy, having an awakening energy, okay? Again, this is what I was picking up on that needing to hear love, speak with love, tap into love, right? And understanding, acknowledging differences, but not, isolating because of them. Just that seems super important as well. What other chakras are being activated now with this new moon? Yep. And then we got the sacral chakra right there. Calling it like I see it, area impasse. This is all about having that power, that magician energy to create whatever you want to create right now, right? You can go two ways. You're kind of at that. I can go left, I can go right, right? There's that full moon energy. So sacral energy, that clearance, it's just making those choices, right? What other chakras are being activated with this new moon? Ooh, heart chakra, wisdom, very beautiful. And then complacency in the root chakra. So what's super interesting is I got 4 cards in the other reading, and I generally do 3. But I got 4 in the other one too, so this is cool. This is cool. Yeah, complacency, needing to move into that mode of acceptance, right? Accepting the fact that, maybe some of us in the collective have been complacent in our lives, just dealing with what's around, or, just going through the motions for the sake of going through the motions, not wanting to kind of move on or have a new adventure or learn new things or experience new things, right? That complacency is just not letting the old go, right? Not uprooting what hasn't worked and planting new seeds that could hopefully work, right? And then boom, why? Because you're at this impasse. This is what this new moon in Gemini is offering, a chance to choose your path, a chance to make a choice, right? A different choice. If you chose fear in the past, right? Now this is an opportunity to choose love, right? If you chose love, now it's another chance to choose love again. It's just this chance to redirect, okay? This is a redirection energy that I'm picking up. And we have heart chakra, wisdom. Yeah, a lot of us are growing in that sense of love, growing in that sense of understanding of what love is. What does it look like? What does it feel like, right? Is love what I've always known it to be? Is it something completely different? Those truths, we're starting to act in wisdom around what we truly believe. And everyone's beliefs are going to be different, okay? No, it's okay, right? Like, we all don't have to believe the same things about love to understand what it is, to understand how we want it in our lives, right? To understand how to interact with it. But it's this sense of growth. It's this sense of allowing what you have learned lesson wise, right? Allowing those lessons to grow your heart and help guide you on a more wiser path. How can I say that? Using wisdom more on your path when you're making decisions from the heart, right? So it's no more trickery, it's no more fear, it's no more control, it's just pure wisdom, which is beautiful. And then that's where it's like in the throat chakra, we want to be careful of that vanity, right? We want to be careful of how we articulate this newness within us, right? Because it can definitely be alienating when you are going through these ascension symptoms or experiencing or tapping into universal cosmic energy and no one else around you is, and you're wanting to talk about it and isolate it, you know what I mean, and go through it. And it's that sense that, it's all in how we talk about it. It's all in how we carry it. It's all in what we say, right? Words are super, super powerful. And so we want to be sure that we aren't allowing these transitions and these gateways and these portals, right? That we're not allowing that to be a hill to stand on, right? Like it's and I say this, I've said this in so many of my other videos. Like, I know that a lot of the times it can feel as though tarot readings or just any type of spiritual teacher, counselor, whatever have you, when they are talking about something that you yourself are struggling with, it's easy to see them as being vain, or like, you can take it in that more egoic way. Thank you, Spirit. Wow. What a roundabout way to just say, pay attention to your ego. Make sure you're not speaking out of ego. Make sure you're not speaking from a place of, being self-righteous or anything like that. Like, we're all learning. We're all on this journey together. We're going to hit these ascension periods and portals at different points in our journeys. So it's just important to remember that. It's important to remember that you may be going through something, and yes, you may be the only one and the people around you aren't yet, but that doesn't mean that they won't. And that doesn't mean that they aren't worthy of it, or that they aren't, there's no need to be, there's just no, they keep telling me isolate. There's no need to isolate yourself. It's just walk in the awareness, right? Just walk in the awareness that, okay, I've had this experience. Okay, yes, I've now view this differently than my peers, and just walk in it. And if it causes tension, discuss it. But do you see what I'm saying? Like, there feels like there's hastiness, like as more and more of the collective starts going through these awakenings, that you're going to start seeing more people rush to judgment of others who haven't or who aren't, right? And that's not what this is all about at all, okay? So there's just a need to kind of keep that in check for some of the collective there, okay? Yeah. All right, we're going to dig a little deeper with the chakra wisdom tarot, just to see what else we got. So we got root chakra, sacral chakra, heart chakra, throat chakra. Very, very interesting. Yeah. Very, very interesting. Okay. Thank you so much, Spirit. What is the collective need to know about complacency? Thank you. What does the collective need to know about root chakra, complacency? Woo. 10 of coins. Solar plexus. Yeah, I feel like I talked about this in one of my dailies. If you haven't checked out my daily series, please do so. I'll be starting back up with that tomorrow. Okay, so I'll have a new video out again soon. But this complacency in the root chakra, it's all about security, the root chakra. And then this is solar plexus. This is all about our will, our self-confidence, our vitality, right? Our life force energy. This is, okay, for some of the collective, this new moon in Gemini is bringing in this realization or awareness that some of us have been complacent in what this 10 of coins is going to look like. And what I mean by that is we had an idea, we stuck to it. Even if things change, even if our feelings changed about it, it's like we stayed loyal to it, even though it didn't serve us, even though it's now doesn't measure up to where we are energetically, right? It's almost like when you manifest out of one space and then you outgrow that space, but then that manifestation from that space comes, it feels a little bit out of place, right? And I think a lot of us are having to reimagine and rethink what this 10 of Pentacles looks like, right? Who's in it, who's not in it, right? How do we get there? That all is changing for a lot of the collective, especially when it comes to money. And I think it's actually bringing in this sense of awareness that many of us were very complacent with where we were. Like understanding that, yes, I'm not happy in this job. I'm not happy in this city. I'm not happy in this relationship, but I've put so much time and effort into it. I've dedicated so much time and effort to it. I've invested so much time and effort into it. I'll be damned if I don't get it. You know what I mean? As opposed to being flexible and being like, okay, things are changing, things are moving. Now let me kind of redirect it here and keeping it fun. It's like I feel like some of us just stayed stagnant with what wasn't working out of the pure emotion of I put too much into it for it not to work, for me not to see the result, for me not to get this 10 of coins, right? For it not to come to fruition. So I feel like that definitely is being called into question under this new moon in Gemini, right? Just truly getting a fresh look at what 10 of coins, right? What kind of long-term financial investment, what kind of retirement we all want. How do we want to retire? Like, what does that look like? You know what I mean? Like that type of thing, that sense of longevity. What have we been feeding this ideal of longevity to? Could it actually go the distance? Or is it just that we've already put so much into it that we don't want to let it go? And I think it's the latter for a lot of us, right? We've already put in so many years or at a job or so many hours into a passion project or so many, so much money into an entrepreneurial opportunity, right? We've already done so much. We've already committed so much energy and love in a relationship, even though we know it's not working, even though we know it doesn't make us happy. It's almost like this sense of pride, right? That has to be a little bit in check. And that definitely would resonate with the solar plexus, pride. So yeah, having to check ourselves a little bit about where we have been complacent in our lives and unwilling to change and unwilling to let go and unwilling to move along with the seasons, right? Like it's just this sense of can we be brave enough and big enough to admit that we're complacent, to admit that this isn't it, whatever it is, that it ain't it, right? That we've grown, that we now desire more. Can we be brave enough to go after that more, to accept that more, to embrace that more? And I think that that's what a lot of the collective is going to be thinking about this under this new moon in Gemini energy, and as we move into the full moon eclipse. Okay, thank you so much, Spirit. We're going to move on into impassive. What do they need to know? Wow, justice. I love that under this. This is throat chakra energy, communication, right? Justice is here. It's almost like this chance, like I was saying, feels like options. The chance to choose love again, the chance to choose something over again. So a lot of you in the collective are getting the opportunity to do something over, or are coming full circle to a point where you've been in the past and now you are choosing justice, or justice is either being brought into you. Okay, this is creative energy, sacral energy. So I don't know if this is someone expressing. Like, this could be someone who had options. Let's say you were one of the options, the viewer, right? Like, let's say this is an employer and they chose someone else over you, or they chose to go in a different direction. Now with all of this pandemic upheaval, they may need someone with your skills. And so they're coming back in, because it does feel like, yeah, like that full circle. Now that opportunity is coming full circle where you're not on the begging end for the job. They're actually begging you to come in and do the work and to help them out. Do you see what I'm saying? And that then becomes some sort of karmic justice or some sort of justice in your life. So the divine is bringing you full circle to something as a form of justice, whether this is your own personal justice, justice for this person or this opportunity. Either way, this being at this creative impasse is like being able to have that sword in one hand and balance and justice in the other, right? Your truth, right? And that sense of well-being, just that sense of equilibrium, right? Now you're walking forward, and whatever you choose, it's going to bring justice. Right? So I see this a couple different ways. For some of you, whatever choice you choose, it's going to bring justice into you regardless. Okay? So this isn't necessarily saying that there's one better than the other. It's just the justice is now you get to choose what you want, as opposed to just receiving the crumbs or you receiving what anyone else has left over. Do you know what I mean? It's that energy difference. You now get to choose as opposed to being a choice. All right, that seems super important. But I feel like whatever you do choose, it is going to lead you down a creative path. But you just have to be confident and balanced and trust in your ability to choose what's right for you. So definitely tap into your higher self. Meditate on it a little bit. Spend some time thinking about it. Write out your options. I feel like part of this is a part of the collective who's faced with some options and some choices here. And you're looking to bring justice in, or the divine is even looking to bring you justice, or having the opportunity for this choice again is the justice, okay? For some of you under this new moon. Very cool. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, Spirit, thank you so much. What does the collective need to know about wisdom for the new moon? Ooh, the Ace of Coins. I love that. Root chakra energy again, right? So this talks about a shift in your 3D, a shift in your material abundance, a shift in your opportunities. This also could be a move, like an actual moving from city to city, moving from a different home to a new home. I feel like this could also be you moving up. This could be that movement up, that leveling up. Now that you're able to tap into the wisdom of your heart, right? And use your heart wisely. Use that abundance that flows from your heart wisely. Now that that's in place or that's been mastered, you now get this choice, this opportunity. This could be a part of that choice, right? Do you start something new, like a completely new life, or do you stay with the one you got? That could also tie back into complacency, right? So some of you, I feel like, who are at this place of a choice, right? This impasse, creatively, or it's that co-creative choice, right? Where Spirit's like, okay, you get to make whatever choice you want. You get to bring justice to your situation. How rare is that, right? That's awesome. A lot of you, I feel like, are going to choose to reimagine this 10 of coins, come out of this complacent energy in your root chakra, and make that shift into a new beginning, right? Make that shift to start something new, to invest in something new, make that shift away from that complacent energy. And that would be using your heart's wisdom, because you know deep down in your heart, you do want something more. You know deep down in your heart, there is something more out there for you. You know now deep down in your heart what you were aiming for, reaching for, gunning for, that your dreams might be a little bigger than that, or your capacity or your skill set might be a little bit bigger than that, right? And you're now allowing yourself to receive justice in the form of choosing a new beginning, and aligning with your heart's wisdom in this new beginning, because you know this is what's going to bring you joy. You know this is what's going to light you up, right? You see that light in her hand? You know this is what's going to help you birth that new world. Okay? Again, male or female. This is, energy doesn't know gender, but that's exactly what it is. So deciding to make a choice from your heart space to bring justice, this also feels like making a choice that's not only good for you, like for your highest good, but for the highest good of all those connected and involved. When you step into that choice, or you've made that choice, that's when this new shift and this new beginning is presented to you, or the movement towards it starts. This is when that Ace of Coins starts getting active, okay? Because you are using your heart's wisdom to make choices, to move away from complacency, reimagine that 10 of coins, and bring in justice for yourself, okay? That's beautiful. Thank you so much, Spirit. What do you want the collective to know about vanity? Thank you. Ooh, 4 of Wands energy, heart chakra energy. Yeah, this 4 of Wands talks about a foundation. It talks about union in the form of business partnerships. Also talks about home, right? The union of a home, 2 people coming together. It's often known as the 1111 card for twin flames, okay? So if you are on a twin flame journey, okay, or you have a very deep soulmate connection and that's taking you on a spiritual journey, or you have that divine counterpart, okay, something around what's happening in that connection could make you feel a little vain. It could make you, right, this is what I was feeling like, standing on a molehill. So it's like, be very, very aware that not everybody is on a twin flame journey. Be very, very aware that not everybody is connected with a soulmate. Be very, very aware that not everybody is on a spiritual journey. And so how your home, how your union, how this bond, how this foundation is built is unique for you. And, you know, in my wholehearted and humble opinion, a lot of that journey is sacred. Like, it's very, very sacred. It's very, very sacred. And, you know, especially for those who are going through the ups and downs in those spiritual journeys, dealing with, you know, the cycles and the separation, and then the not the separation, and, you know, the telepathy and the dreams. And it can be a lot. It can be very overwhelming. Yes. And I know that for a lot of those on that twin flame journey, divine counterpart, it can be hard to find someone to talk to about it. But this is telling me that it's important to keep it sacred, okay? It's important to keep it sacred. Not everyone's going to understand your journey. So don't talk to those people who don't get it about what's going on, because it's only going to make you more confused, maybe even less hopeful on your journey, the more that you talk to people or get advice from people who aren't on the journey, or who aren't taking steps towards their journey, or who haven't come into union. You know what I mean? It's that sense of you're going through something. It's very natural and very human to want to share, to want to talk about it. But if you speak about it to people who aren't on the journey, right, who don't get it, I'm telling you, there are people who even think they are, and they aren't, right? And then they come to that realization. So you just have to just tune into yourself, tune into your heart chakra, tune into that heart center, and trust your path, right? You see these butterflies here? Trust in the transformation of your journey, okay? Don't get dismayed by readers, who maybe tell you you'll never come into union, or no, that's not your person, or, that's a far-fetched, or you're reaching, or, just be careful. Be careful. Be careful how you talk about it. Be careful what you hear and what you listen to around it, okay? That just seems very important, because I feel like this union energy, this foundation energy, this coming together energy is here for a lot of soulmates, divine counterparts, twin flames. But this energy of vanity, wanting to be vocal about it, wanting to talk about it, wanting to kind of share. I just kind of feel like just be careful. Just do it with those people who are going to understand you. Because if you talk to people who aren't going to understand you, it's only going to leave you more in the dark, feeling more isolated, more alone in the journey, okay? But yeah, this also is telling me that some of you could be coming into union. Okay, so this I'm talking just to my divine counterpart, twin flame, spiritual connection group, okay? And it's okay if you aren't in one, that's totally fine. Not everybody will be in their lifetime, and that's okay. But for those that are, and you are, and only God can confirm that you are, okay? I'm going to say that again. Please, please, please do not fall for I can heal whatever's between you and your twin flame. I can tell you who your twin flame is. Oh, I could tell you if this is your person or not, or your twin flame. Like, only God can confirm that, okay? But for those that are on that journey, a lot of you are going to be coming into union, and you're going to be tempted to talk about it. You're going to be tempted to share, because it is exciting. It is super, it's life-changing, right? I've seen twin flames come together and how their energy changes, and, it's amazing to see. But again, remember that everybody who is on that twin flame journey are at different stages in their journey. So it's like he would be mindful. Just be very, very mindful that if you are coming into union as a twin, to protect yourselves, okay? I know you're going to be tempted to share. You're going to be tempted to, talk about it because it's exciting, but I'm just getting that. Like, it could come off as vanity, right? To those who maybe aren't in a union, aren't twin flames at all, don't have that type of connection. It could come off as vanity. And I think it's just really needing to be mindful of how you're talking about your union, about your relationships, about yourself. Like, even for my not spiritual connection, like for those who aren't in one, this could also just be careful how you even talk about what you desire, right? So for those who are looking for a home, or looking to be in a marriage or in a union, or some sort of business partnership, right? Just make sure that you're talking about it from a healthy place, a positive place, okay? Make sure that you're speaking life into what you want and what you desire, and not against it, okay? And then for those that are coming into union, just take that time to just be with you and that person, and, just be mindful of that. Be mindful of it, okay? This is absolutely beautiful, beautiful energy collective. Let's go ahead and pull some Work Your Light oracles just to see what questions we can ask ourselves, what insight, what knowledge light workers might have for us. This light worker deck. Thank you so much. What do we need to know? Yeah, inner temple, devotion. Tune into the portal of your heart. Majorly, yeah. Tune into that portal of your heart, okay? That inner temple. So this is what I'm saying. You might be tempted, even if this is like, again, you getting a new job. This could be a new job. This could be you starting a new business. just be mindful about what you're saying. Be mindful about how you're talking about your experiences, right? Even just to other people, right? How you frame what you're going through in your mind, how you articulate it through your mouth is what's going to breathe life or destruction into this home, into this union, into this marriage, into this business, right? So just keep that in mind, okay? Keep your inner temple pure. Keep that space of devotion, right, within yourself. Super important. That's how you can tap into that heart wisdom as well, okay? Thank you so much. Any other, what else does the collective need to know about this new moon, Gemini? Anything else? Any other advice for the collective? That's a lot. Or any other advice? Thank you. Get grounded. Yeah, empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. So definitely, in order to remove yourself from this complacency, right? To make those choices, to use that wisdom, you have to come from a grounded place. And this is also tapping into that vanity, because vanity is up in the higher chakras, right? And that throat chakra, staying grounded with nature is going to keep that throat chakra grounded so that you avoid any type of vanity. You avoid that sense of alienating yourself. You avoid that, that friction or that static between, those who aren't on the journey and those who are. All right. So get grounded, especially my empaths, those that feel a lot, sense a lot, indigos, crystals, starseed babies. Everybody get grounded. Super important here, okay? All right. Any other advice? Spirit, thank you so much for the spread. Any other advice? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Any other advice for the collective for this new moon? New moon in Gemini advice. Anything else? Thank you. There we go. Warrior woman or man, okay? If you weren't afraid, what would you do? Yeah, exactly. That complacency. If you weren't afraid to let go, if you weren't afraid that it wasn't going to work out, if you weren't afraid or had no fear, what would you be out here doing? What would you be dedicating your time to? What would you be creating, right? What would you go for? What would you fight for? That's what this complacent energy is. That's what this is meaning by redefining and realigning this 10 of coins. How are you going to get there? What does it look like? Who's involved? Who's not involved? All of that, okay? This says if you weren't afraid, what would you do, right? It's time to suit up and move on from that complacent energy. Let go of the things that aren't bearing any fruit. Let go of the things that keep you stagnant, keep you stuck, right? That feel like the same thing over and over again, because you deserve newness. You deserve that adventure because you are that warrior, right? That warrior, you got that. And it's almost like a warrior for your own truth, right? Discovering your truth, okay, you can know it all you want, but are you going to do what it takes to make that truth a reality? Are you going to do what it takes to stand by that truth, right? Are you going to remain grounded in what you feel and choose from a grounded place? Make that choice. Bring in that justice, right? Using your heart's wisdom for that ace of coins, that change. Devote that change to tuning into who you are, right? Then making sure that that change is better aligned with who you are. All of that is at play right now with this beautiful new moon in Gemini energy. For all of those who are feeling it very heavily, I'm sending you so much peace and strength to continue to integrate the energy that you're getting, integrate that light codes, integrate and keep going on this ascension path. I know it can be difficult. I know it can be tough. It can be exhausting on your mind, your body, and your spirit, but you are that warrior, right? You are that fierce warrior. You can get through this, okay? Just remain grounded as much as possible. Remain grounded as much as possible and do what you got to do to maintain that inner temple, okay? So spend some more time within yourself. Take the time, again, listen to your body. If your body is telling you need rest, please rest, okay? If your body is telling you to move and get active, get active. really starting that mind body soul integration right now with this new moon in Gemini, and it's absolutely beautiful, collective. So thank you so much for allowing me to connect with your energy in this way and bring you these chakra readings. I hope you found them helpful. So it looks like we got root chakra, sacral chakra, heart chakra, throat chakra, and a little bit of solar plexus chakra, just like we said. Okay, so check out my chakra healing playlist section, or at least playlists for some of that. Check out those channels. They have so many more on YouTube, okay? But do that work, and we should be able to integrate the remaining the remaining energy of this new moon in Gemini up into the lunar eclipse, okay? So I will see you all for the lunar eclipse and Sagittarius reading. Hang in there, okay? Enjoy this beginning of Gemini season, and I will have more cusp videos out for you all soon. All right. Namaste.